Well, we've had an amazing hunting season, which has come to an end, and we've got a bunch of big game and waterfowl sitting in the freezer, ready to be cooked up. And I'm gonna show you how to make a sweet honey venison. All right, so what I've done is I've prepped a bunch of the ingredients ahead of time, and this is a really good recipe that you can do out on the trail while you're sledding. You can bring it into the ice shack with you, and it's just a really easy thing that you can throw together. You just need one pan and a little bit of boiling water. It's a delicious meal that you can really make anywhere. So I've pre-marinated my meat. So what's in here is some really thinly sliced venison. I've mixed a little bit of a marinade with honey, soy sauce, some gochujang, which is like a red pepper paste. There's pepper, ginger, garlic, and everything is just sort of making a beautiful sauce right now. And this whole thing is going to go in the pan. So as I cook this, what's gonna happen is that honey is going to start getting really sticky as all the liquids evaporate, and it'll create this really nice sticky coating for the meat, which is gonna be sweet and delicious. And as soon as it starts getting thick and gets a little bit of a char on it, it'll be done cooking, and it really only takes a couple minutes. So the two things that you really need to have ready to go is a hot pan. It could be just a Teflon pan or a cast iron pan. I'm using a cast iron here today. And you need some water boiling because this goes together pretty quick. So I've got some ramen noodles that are going to hit the water. I've got my cast iron pan screaming hot here. I need to hit it with some oil first. My meat ingredients with the marinade all just land in there at the same time. So this meat is done. I've let it cook down. That fluid has evaporated. Now for the last couple seconds of the cook here, I'm just gonna toss in some small pieces of green pepper that I cut. It's just gonna add a really nice crunch to it. I don't wanna overcook these, so I'm adding them at the end. And those are just gonna go in there and just get a minute to warm up in the pan. So I'm tossing those in right now. My water's boiling. I'm just gonna toss my noodles in. I've got a fresh chow mein noodle. They take like 30 to 40 seconds to cook through, and then we'll start assembling our whole dish here. All right, these noodles are done. So I'm just gonna grab them with my tongs here, get a bit of water off of them and plate them up. So now my cooked meat mix, this sweet, sticky venison is going to go right on top of those noodles. Boy, does that ever smell and look amazing. So I'm also just gonna drizzle a little bit of toasted sesame oil on here. You can totally omit this step, but it adds just a real nice, cozy element to the dish that I really like. So that is it. So at this point, you can definitely just eat this as is. You can also fancy it up a little bit with some sriracha or some other hot sauces. I'm gonna go ahead and put some sesame seeds on here with some chopped green onion and some cilantro. That just gives it an extra little bit of kick of flavor. All right, this is how we make it look real pretty. So we're going to get our sesame seeds, a nice pinch all over top of that meat, and you can see how they stick to the honey. Chopped and torn cilantro, we'll get a little bit of that on top. And then last but not least, a little bit of green onion. So there it is. Super simple to prepare ahead of time and to bring it out just to heat it up when you're outdoors. We've got a sweet honey venison sitting on a ramen noodle, and this is just a very delicious, nutritious meal that you can eat hot while you're out ice fishing or exploring the wilderness, and I highly recommend you give this a try. So for more information on this recipe, check out the blog post link below, and I'll fill you in on how to make it yourself.